Welcome back to Starlit Veil of Crimson, where the art and the unseen dance as one. I'm your host, Star Watcher, and today we celebrate this sacred chaos, the limited layers, the ever-shifting magic of being multi-creative. Tonight is the full moon, the harvest moon, the supermoon. And as always, I decided to pull a card for you, my starlights. Please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I pulled the Seven of Cups reversed. So I get right now, as you may be watching and listening to this episode, things are lifting up in regards of false ideas and being caught up in extravagant ideas. You once had a lot of choices, but now it's being narrowed down to what truly matters to you at this very moment. Almost as if to tell you that enough is enough. We're clearing the unnecessary choices and options so you may pick what is truly best for you. Now, let us get into the episode. You might be a painter and a poet, a singer and a sculptor, a witch who sews, not sells. You might do both, but a witch who sews spells into clothing or while knitting and crocheting, one who writes invocations in watercolor. If you ever felt like you had to pick one path to be valid, this episode is your permission slip to break the mold. Let's stretch our wings out together. Now, we're often taught at a very young age to pick one thing, one job, one medium, one label, one lane. But as witches, as artists, as beings of spirit, we are many things. Our creativity doesn't live in boxes. It spills over, touches everything. And that, beloved listener, is divine. This is one thing that I've always hated growing up. The idea of this box. Rather, this idea of having to have a label to address or call yourself by. It almost feels a bit like that of the 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪, and we'll talk about that a little later. But being a multi-creative means you flow between mediums like water. You trust inspiration over strict identity. You let your intuition guide your form of expression. Some days you may collage with candle wax and torn poetry. Other days you may journal a spell and photograph its feeling. You are not inconsistent when you do this. You are infinite. And that means you are not expected to be tied down by only one thing. You do not need to pick up one medium to do things your entire life. Would that even be balance? I think not. For this segment, I like us to bear in mind the god Loki. But usually for those who are creative, maybe you don't like doing just one thing. But you dip your toes into the waters of other crafts to explore. And then you grow, and now you're somehow really almost good at most forms of art in a nutshell. I know that sentence didn't sound right. My bad. I hope you understand that though. Anyways, maybe you're more of a quiet artist who enjoys writing more, storytelling, poetry, and so forth. Regardless, in my experience, it feels like most artists do not just have one medium to claim that they do. Maybe one they do better or well, but it's not the only medium they use to express themselves and to create. As an artist is, or let me rephrase that, an artist is, as I often like to say, a jack of all trades, the magician, the one who slowly leans and learns a self mastery of their own craft. Whatever it may be, dare I say, quite possibly a chaos based witch. You can be your own one man show with all the stuff you do. And this is kind of why I said keep in mind the god Loki. I say this in regards to the fact that I even do this, and I know of many others who do this as well. And that is the fact that I, as an artist and witch, do many things. I draw, I paint, I scrapbook, I write, create jewelry, I've sculpted with clay, made trash into art like beads, I sewed, I crocheted, and even dived into photography. And of course, not to mention, I've long begun my journey in witchcraft and divination, which can be a form of art in itself. That is perfected over time, of course. As art-based witches, we're not made to be confined and placed into a little box, let alone truly just stick with one path. We dim our light when we do this. We dim the flame that exists within us when it's supposed to be strong. A bold flame that represents our power and strength. We as artists see and feel things that go unnoticed. We pay attention to detail and we are ever so observant. It's the littlest of things that truly keep our flame going. It never has to be big unless we wish for it to be. And upon me mentioning that of the Lagu's rune, which if you did not know, is actually the first rune to spell Loki's name. I feel like the rune fits with that of an art witch, simply because of the fact it's about duality. It's a vast body of water. It's an ocean. It's always seeping through cracks and crevices, forming and molding to what it comes across. It flows with ease, without hindrance or restrictions. I feel like it can be represented that of... Sorry, hold on. I feel like it can represent that of an art witch. Because as a creative spirit, you really do learn to conform and learn to adapt with ease when creating in all forms. But it also means that you can allow for it to flow with ease. You can channel through it. You can allow your emotions to come through, and you can allow yourself to transmute it. And if you hear me yelling in the back, that is my cat. And I don't know if you guys are watching the video to this podcast. I don't know what she was doing in the background, but maybe you guys will. Anyways, I digress. I bring this up from what I was originally talking about because I'm currently experiencing or experimenting in regards of the runes that spell Loki's name. Meaning that I am literally meditating on each of the runes at the moment, to spell his name, and it's been pretty magical. I'll say that for a fact. So stay tuned for that. I'll most likely make a video about it on my YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure you guys will like that. Now, let's talk about guilt. About the voice that says, you never finish anything. You should stick to one craft to be taken seriously. Real artists pick a lane. They go to school. Your art should be making money. These are echoes of a world obsessed with productivity and profit, not creativity and soul. Which is why it's very important to listen to the voice inside of us, our intuition, to create a fire from within. Because everything outside of us, even from me, does not technically matter. What really matters is what comes from within and what resonates deeply within your soul that feels right. And we can learn to embrace our sovereignty this way. We reclaim sovereignty when we say, I am allowed to explore. My art isn't less sacred if it shifts form. I do not need to monetize or master every part of me. Your art practice doesn't need to be linear or clean. It can be messy. It can be seasonal. And, of course, above all else, experimental. The sacred doesn't need structure to be real. Art is not about being perfect and clean, in a sense. Oftentimes, if for anything, it's about simply honoring and allowing ourselves to be however we wish to be in the moment when creating. And that in itself helps us to reclaim our own sovereignty when crafting. It can also help us when we get harsh criticism that in the face of it, we can just shrug our shoulders and say, oh well, and continue on. Being multi-creative is not only allowed, it's powerful because you access multiple layers and languages of the soul. You can build layers, or you can build layered rituals and experiences. You become more receptive, more inspired, and more attuned. Want to make a spell painting? Then dance the energy into your body? Do it. Want to write a poem and record it as a chant under the moonlight? Yes. Want to stitch talismans, carve candles, and digitally animate your deities? Beautiful. The art witch is not limited to one altar, one craft, and one style. I want you all to remember that. You are the altar in this case. And if you feel like you are limited, question yourself why and sit with it. You should give yourself permission to be vast through art. Art is subjective after all. So why do you limit yourself? And if you don't know what it means, I'll tell you. I'm using a quote from an article on Eden House of Art, and it goes like this. Art is subjective. Means that a viewer's interpretation and appreciation of a work of art are based on their personal feelings, opinions, and experiences rather than on universal objective standards. This personal viewpoint means that the same piece of art can be perceived differently and with different levels of meaning or beauty by different people, making the experience of art a unique and individual one. Now, let us not forget one thing, one important thing. Even your multi-creative magic, getting tongue-tied there will be seasons. There will be a time for painting, a time for sound, a time for silence, a time for pause. Respect your cycles, create when inspired, rest when needed. One medium may go quiet while another one awakens. This doesn't mean you're broken or losing touch with a skill. It means you're alive and you're human. If you're in a doormat phase or pausing, trust it. If you're in a blooming one, honor it. Let go of pressure. Embrace presence above all else and just allow yourself to go with the flow. And don't worry, I plan on discussing about artist blocks soon. Now, you are not here to be small or consistent. You are here to be gloriously full and free. To be an art witch is to shapeshift, to try and taste and tangle with all forms of soul expression. So whether today you sing or sketch or simply imagine, know that your creativity is sacred no matter how it shows up. I'm Star Watcher, and this has been Starlit Veil of Crimson. Thank you for being here. Until next time, trust your tides, follow the sparks, and create without fear.
𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪